Hello and welcome back to match point of the OCS Grand Final here for 2019. Diacubs sitting 2-0. Incredibly good start to this one, but Mammoth, their terms, their side selection, switching it up to go onto blue side for the first time this series, this game.
They are? Okay,
Yes.
Interesting. Look, we spoke about it at the end of game one, about mentality around drafting and sort of the player's perspective, where, you know, sometimes you don't want to change things up after one loss because you're like, well, you know, it was just unfortunate something happened in the game. But, I mean, you could make the same argument for that game too. They were definitely in a winnable position, but sometimes, like, it's a pattern. Really, it's a pattern of two winnable games that you've lost. You just got to change it up.
Yeah, 100%. Blue side is going to do that. Of course, it has been like the Xayah was the big one, first pick, first game. Then it was just banned away to not give Andrew that champion, because he is the member that I think is a lot of the difference. Like in both of these games, it's been like, top side, one person has been like monstering that game just then. Like Siemens Akali started super rough, got caught multiple times. He turns it around, but the consistent member there always for the Diacubs is their bottom lane, Andrew on that Xayah, then on the Kai'Sa. Like you have to throw Nautilus and like Corporal in the ring as well. Like those two work together very well.
Yes.
And that is bringing them over the line. Like a huge deal here.
Yeah, I definitely think that the story of this series so far for me is Redemp's versus Andrew. Like Redemps seems to constantly have that side lane pressure. Even in game two there where he started off behind, he still ended up with massive pressure.
Yeah.
But in both games, Andrew out of the gate, and yes, obviously we have to talk about Corporal as well. I think especially game two, I thought Corporal played really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Andrew, the bot lane of Diacubs out of the gate, just pressure. Corporal lands at hook level 1.
Yeah, and that was
constant, just platings, blue buffs being taken. I mean, if you're Halo right now, like these two games have been hell. Like, you're not getting a single blue. Sui Man is just twerking on your whole team. He's just got his cheeks in your team's face, and they're like, oh, God, Sui Man, stop! Halo, do something about it. And you're like, give me your blue, and maybe I can.
That's the anti-twerk mechanic is blue buff.
Give him the blue. Stop Sui Man from twerking.
Okay.
But also ban Akali.
Yeah, okay. Ban
But then
Xayah,
also
ban Akali.
maybe not ban Akali.
But I think
because 1-3 Akali, not so scary.
Yeah.
10-3 Akali.
Yeah. Like some of the difference is jungle matchups, right? Like Kayn, like probably a very selfish jungler. Like if it's blind pick Gragas into Kayn response, like Kayn is about like getting the transform. Like he did hit it and then he was strong, but when your bot lane doesn't have priority, it's hard to be able to contest Silas.
Yeah, okay, that's two farm, not super ganky junglers out of Kevi, and maybe it's less jungle matchup and more influencing the lanes a bit, because we've seen Ubisoft 2 games in a row now play the Gragas. We haven't seen a ton of ganks out of Ubisoft, but we've seen a lot of shoving the wave in, shadowing a lane as it pushes, using a lane's priority to establish river control, to steal blue buffs. These are all the things that competitive junglers do, and these are like, really, when you think about competitive junglers, if you say there's 5 top things that they do, ganking really is down here. A successful gank is awesome, yes, but there are so many comp games where it's not just like, oh, who can
it's hard to be like
flash into a lane the
yeah, I'm
most.
just gonna gank now.
Yeah, like I'll just kill and gank. Better jungler wins. It's these other 4, and I think Ubisoft's done a really good job of doing that so far in both games, having probably losing matchups.
Okay, now for me, draft for game number 3. Same thing happening. Do Diacubs ban the Xayah? Mammoth Academy, 100% for... Oh, okay. I was going to say 100% first pick Xayah.
Right? Don't you just take Xayah and then Rakan? Maybe they don't want to play Rakan.
What? Like their Xayah Rakan?
Maybe it's if you leave Xayah up and then Diacubs ban it, maybe they don't have like a good first pick, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it sets you up in a scenario where like, oh, well, now we have to first pick Renekton. Yeah, now we have to first pick Renekton, and then they do X, and we don't want to be in that scenario, so we rather just ban the Xayah. Like, Corki first pick though, nothing wrong with that. Corki super strong. Halo also pretty good at the champ. It will give Sui Man sort of a free lane. Not a ton of kill pressure coming out of the what's he called? The Daring Bombardier.
Oh,
are you impressed?
Nice. I'm impressed.
I'm not even a caster, and I knew that.
The Daring Bombardier. All right, third game for Gragas here for Ubisoft.
What's Gragas's? I know what it is.
Strong thighs.
The rabble-rouser.
The rabble-rouser. Okay, no. I don't know the quotes, nah.
Nah.
I know the Grand
The titles?
Duelist.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you
the
go. That's one.
titles. What's Alistair? Like the Minotaur? The Big Cow?
It's something to do with his chains, I think.
The Unchained?
Yeah, I think it is that.
Okay.
Or maybe that's the skin, Alistair Unchained.
Yeah, that's definitely a skin.
Yeah.
But anyway, Renekton going to be locked in once again, so the
The
trend
big crocodile.
going through all of these games. Queke going to get his second crack at that one. Early
Yeah.
looked fine, but Camille with a couple of kills
Thoughts?
made it a little bit of a disaster.
Thoughts on triple ban Sejuani and playing against Gragas 3 times? At what point is what you're losing against worse than what you could potentially lose against?
It's a thought. It's a thought. I think Sejuani skews things too much. I think Sejuani changes solo lane matchups
Sedge is too easy.
incredibly. Like if this was like first pick Corki into Sejuani Renekton, you don't have a top lane matchup. There's like almost nothing you can pick that can match ever at any point in the game, and then also Sejuani probably out team fights you.
Okay.
So
Let's see
it
it.
is rough, but it's going to be the run back of the Kanye.
Let's see it. I mean, it's... When I look left and when I look right, like left is like my solo queue comp, and right is what I see on stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, on the left, it's like, I want to win, but I want to win my way. I want to be the guy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be the guy, I'm going to get the farm, and I'm going to carry. And that's how I'm going to win. On the right is like, we're just going to face roll
my
our
coach told me
buttons.
to pick Gragas
Yeah,
again.
until the enemy dies. We're just
Kai,
going to go...
can I play something else? No.
Yeah, you're
No.
playing just hard CC, and we're grouping mid, and we're just running it down.
In a good way, though. Running it down in a good way.
In a good way. We're snowballing. We're
Yeah.
But, so left is I mean, look, it can work, for sure. It's the sort of thing you might see in LCK, where you have a lot of, again, priority
Handshakes.
farm.
LCK just handshake.
Yeah,
It's like,
where
this
you
should
just-
work, so we will concede.
Yeah.
Whereas there's a lot of like, oh,
Here you
this
gotta-
might not work.
here you gotta prove it.
I'm gonna fight it. Yeah.
You got to prove it.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, there's no reason it can't work. Siva, if she, you know, we don't know what the bot lane matchup is, but assuming Siva gets bot priority, okay, Kane can get counter jungle. Corki can get priority, you know, after like level 9-ish, starts clearing those waves quick enough, gets the package, that's an opportunity to do something as well. Obviously scales super well into the mid game. So it's not like there's nothing they can do. But when you look at the Dire Cubs roster, you know, it's just so crystal clear in my mind. Like the image of those 3 champions running into the river to contest Herald, just
I
everyone
feel like
jumping in there.
you've already decided. You know what I mean? It's like
I sort of have.
Like-
I mean, anything could happen.
it's a very vivid image you're painting.
Anything can happen, but I'm visualizing the draft as it goes,
Yeah.
and it's just like, oh, he just got E'd, and now he's got W'd by Renekton, and now there's, oh, it's Aurelia's none, and oh, she's doing the Q thing.
Stop twerking, Seaman. Stop twerking.
You'd see him in Ricardo.
Okay, time catch. If that's the lock-in, could be a Tarm Ezreal, could be a Tarm Mage, could be the Sona.
Well, yeah, they were a big fan of the Sona early on in the season. They were definitely the first OCS team to play the Sona. Sona very popular in Split 1 this year, but
Fell
saw,
off a bit, yeah.
saw nerfs in the off-season. People stopped playing around solo queue as much. People sort of thought, okay, was it maybe MSI? She started falling off the meta as well.
Well, MSI was also like, okay, let's stop playing Sona and let's just play Pyke in 7 roles.
Yes, true.
The
But-
game got much quicker.
They Sona was making her way out of the meta, but then as soon as OCS started, Dire Cubs were like, nah, still good. We'll play her. They won a bunch of games. So it wouldn't surprise me. She's not super strong anymore, but not too, you know, Gen G plays her. Ruler
Fine,
plays her a fair
yeah.
bit still.
Nautilus is going to be picked up here for Isles, I believe. Played at game number 1. Zoe.
Joey.
Yeah, okay. Old school matchup.
Corki
So that's going to be the
top.
Corki top into Renekton. That's the
Okay.
answer. Okay.
Yeah, Sona. Oh, not locked in yet, but
Yeah, 17 seconds to the side.
okay, so we've got a bit of CC now. We've got the Nautilus. We've got some engage, pick potential. We've got the Zoe bubbles. That can lead into, you know, you get tagged by a bubble, all of a sudden you get hit by a boomerang, the big one, and Zoe Q, and,
Yeah.
you know, you die. But at the same time, a lot of squishy range champs
Yes.
versus a lot of beefy melee champs, but also
Beefy
still do a lot of
dudes.
damage.
And the one thing I kind of look at with that Tahm Kench lock-in and then you go for the Zoe, like Tahm Kench has to shoot up in priority. Because you think about like Corki, Kane, Zoe, Nautilus, single target pick. Like Nautilus picks someone, that person dies, and Tahm Kench, the ability to just devour one of your teammates, it's going to be incredibly good this game. A lot of pressure, I think, on Corporal and how he manages that cooldown. Got nerfed ages ago, and so the cooldown is mega long. You really only get one per team fight now when you used to get 2 or 3, but okay, this is the game for all the marbles. Diacub sitting 2-0 up in the series. Mammoth playing for their OCS playoff lives. This is the one that matters. They chose blue side. They definitely switched it up this game. Is it enough to topple the Diacubs?
We'll find out on the next episode of OCS Z.
OCS Z.
Yep.
That's the one.
Suiman already got his butt out, ready.
This needs to stop. This needs to stop.
Okay, let's see it. I wasn't sold on Kane game 1, or game 2 rather, but I mean, he played it last week to success.
Yeah.
He is a good Kane player. Kane can snowball insanely well.
I was also thinking maybe game 3 Kane goes electrocute, goes blue. But it's not going to be the case. He's going to be a Conqueror, so Red Kane is the game this time. Also switched up the skin. I respect that, Kevy.
You got to switch.
As soon as you lose, that skin is done.
Sure. You're not playing that again.
It's like Mid-Beast Pokemon Challenge, except in a best of 5. So like instead of losing the champion, you lose the skin. And it's out.
I played one time at best of 5. Played Lee Sin all 5 games. So
did you run out of skins?
We lost 2 games. So the first 2 games, it was a reverse sweep actually.
Oh.
Yeah, so I changed. No, you only need 3 skins for it.
Yeah, true.
But change skins first 2 games, but then 3rd game you find it and you win and you stick to it, and hey.
It's the goods.
That's the goods.
It's the goods. Andrew certainly got a weird one. That doesn't look like Sona. It looks like Velkoz's child.
Yeah, it's like
Abyss Velkoz. Like
yeah,
Conmore and
that's what I was
Velkoz.
going to say. It's like Bilge watercolors.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, Bilge water? Not like
I was thinking
Void?
like a Lowy sort of. Yeah, but I mean Void also works. Oh, what are those? Oh, I don't know. You know Command and Conquer?
No, not
okay, never
particularly.
mind. Yeah, there's a unit that looks exactly like that. It just occurred to me.
Okay, I believe you. I believe you. All right, but into game number 3. Jungle, no leash start for the Kane. 1 hits the Raptor camp. Leash for the Gragas on the other side of the map, but still, even with a leash.
This is the first game that that Jungle gets a leash.
I believe it is, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what implications that has for the path.
When you've got a Sona and a Tahm Kench, so much sustain to deal with, and I guess it is, I'll say, just a Sivir on the other side. It's not like a Kate Lux or anything, so you will get shoved in, guaranteed, but poke damage isn't the greatest down here, so Diacubs take a look at it, and they're like, okay, like, we're not going to get anything if we go the lane anyway, so...
Perfect CS in the bot lane.
We'll be feeling fine. Yeah, 6-2. Rasma feeling good.
Okay, well, Gragas, full clear. Kane, full clearing also. No, nothing doing. The first 2 minutes, just happy to farm it out. Kane, of course, that's the goal. Gragas, you know, nothing wrong with farming to 6, but
Flash is very useful.
A little bit more dangerous early on. Looking at the mid lane.
Okay, stun looked at. Halo, now with the CC down, does he get baited into look for a trade? Bubble is going to connect, but Ubisoft still has the flash available. W buffered through the sleep there, and nothing going to come of it. Not
willing to flash into the darkness. Isn't sure where Kane is. Smart move.
Has already gone for a reset as well, topside. That stun's going to land. Seaman still has the reset, so can go back to the creep. Does so to dodge out for the Q. Very nicely traded, and
threatening the dive. He has that ignite as well, and the Conqueror was proc, so Halo has to respect it.
Top side, trying plan. He's going to spot out Kevy. The top lane matchup is the most interesting to me. Bottom lane, you can kind of expect it to go one way. Seaman already pushing in the mid lane, but Corki into Renekton in an isolated 1 versus 1, Corki probably does very well. Like Renekton, if he doesn't land like the first part of the E, you do like have that range advantage to play with, and then if you have Valkyrie available on the Corki, then Renekton should in theory never close that distance. But when you do have like a Gragas E-Flash combo versus a Kane jungle, if there is any sort of skirmishing topside, Redemps
I mean,
be in a bit of trouble.
Corki's spells cost so much mana. Whereas Renekton can just continue to trade.
True, he has like infinite sustain theoretically if he doesn't get forced out. Yeah.
So it's a melee range where really the Corki is just interested in farming.
Yeah.
Like he'll poke you if you walk up. Yes, a Klepto, but really like PTA first Klepto. You saw there like Valk. I mean, Redemption just popped a pot. He's already on low mana again. Luck. Just looking at he's got 2 mana pots from the Klepto, so probably doesn't even matter as he's about to tank. A little bit of damage.
Yeah, slice lands, but he's going to dice back forward. That's what I was kind of thinking as soon as he went for that trade out of the bush. It's like, if you burn Valk, that is like optimal scenario. If you cause enough of a threat for Corki to have to W, like every time you do that,
that's also like 80 mana.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I think it's 100, level 1. And it's just like, okay, like that is so much of your mana pool. If you burn a Valkyrie, that's what, like a couple of Qs, maybe
like,
an E on your
how
head.
much is
It's a Klepto proc.
Exactly.
Like that is just buying you time. And in this lane, it really is like a war of attrition for the Corki, whereas Renekton in any sort of all-in pops to press the attack would be chilling. Isles hooks onto Corporal, has the aftershock of his own, and
has rushed the Executioners.
Yeah,
I like that buy. So much of what this bot lane is just grey health and Sona W. And Executioners kills a lot of that sustain, so not much else you're really buying for that 800 gold. You know, long swords for your... Ubisoft is predatoring in, ease forward, forces the flash.
Okay.
Isles looking for it though.
Interesting flash over the wall, gets him to safety. Now Isles in trouble, walking into the pit. This is going to have to be a flash.
Looking for it.
He wants the blast plane. You can see Kevy just sitting on top of it, waiting for his ally. Ocean Dragon in the hands of Mammoth, but did cost them the double summoners.
Yeah, nice little defensive maneuver there. Obvious communication. Kevy saying, make sure you flash this way because I have the cone for you. Just wide. And they get the Ocean Drake for it. Ocean Drake. People are starting to complain a little bit more than they used to about Ocean Drake, about the sustain and the hidden power of it all.
Probably very good going into something like we were just talking Corki matchup. Absolutely love the Ocean Dragon.
For sure.
You're playing against Sona, Tam, Kench, bottom lane, like that. Just equalizes the sustain war at least a little bit. You're never going to match, but certainly helps down there. So you can see KV prizes it early, commits to it, and does secure it, but about 1,000 gold lead here for the Dire Cubs, just straight up from laning. They do have the double support items bottom side, and eventually Klepto will come in, but interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Klepto is like, you know, Corki and Sona. Big part of this is the support items, but really this is, what's interesting to me about this is really the first game where Mammoth have had priority in this bottom lane.
Yeah.
And you can see just pushing it in constantly as fast as they can, trying to put on as much pressure as possible. No fights so far in this game. Used that to get Dragon, although last game they were getting Dragon even without priority. But a very different performance out of the Mammoth Academy bot lane this game. I'll have to see what further implications that has.
Yeah. Oh, top side. Predator.
That's Flash gone.
Flash. Valkyrie to safety. Interesting sort of events. Kweku maybe just a little bit too low to commit to that one. Fishing for the plate, but not going to quite find it at the back end of the Demolish. Ubisoft definitely wanted it, but didn't have
a clear path for the E flash there. I mean, he could have gone with the big nuts either wrong way and then flash back.
Yeah. Okay.
E like out of the creeps, flash over the creeps. But if you miss that, then you end up just taking tower aggro with no flash, no E, under the, just standing next to the guy. So if it fails, it's a big gamble. And also, Kweku's low. That, you know, game 3, you're 2-0 up. You probably don't feel the need to roll the dice too hard. Probably just say, play it out like normal.
See him and really wanted the crab. Corporal's like, no.
Crab is for the jungler.
Give that to the Hillbilly. Blue buff is yours, and he's going to get it. Interested to see if Halo gets himself a blue buff.
Yeah.
Kane on bottom side doing his progs right now, and actually looking potentially towards the bottom lane. Does spot that wall that Andrew just placed, going through the wall right now. Isn't transformed, so it doesn't have the knock-up quite yet, but chunk nonetheless, and does force him back somewhat.
The Devour not used, so you're going to feel confident. walking back up, and Andrew's just going to press W a few times. He's going to be full health again. He's got that tear. Pops a potion, though. That boomerang does hurt. I mean, the grievous wounds.
BF sword also.
Yeah.
Flat damage there.
Halo needs to be careful here because Ubisoft is on his way mid.
Stun is going to connect. Ubisoft does have the flash available. Ulti lands from the Aurelia. Do they commit? No. Heavy turning around. Cask is going to get dodged out by Halo. Sleep lands onto the Gragas. Seaman looking for the response. Who gets first blood? Kevy is going to pick it up, and now Seaman caught between two enemy turrets on the wrong side of the map. Nautilus rotating from bot side, looking for the flank. Not quite sure where he is right now. They don't have vision, but predicting the right bush is going to face check. Seaman, Stun going to get it started,
Looking
trying to get on top of Halo.
Picks up the Duralzy.
Connect, Sleep comes through, auto attack from the Nautilus. Could have secured it, but no, gives it to the mid laner, and Mammoth walk away with first blood and another.
Yeah, Ubisoft went for it all there. He thought, tried to time the cask for the return on the Zoe ult, but unfortunately got the damage, but not the knockback. Seaman dies trying to follow up the tower dive, and that's two quick ones for Mammoth.
Yeah, Ubisoft was just one fat man with a dream, looking for it, but not quite going to land. Actually connects onto the Sona there. Interesting interaction. It's very often, like a lot of time, Kench lanes are about the communication, especially when such reliable CC like Nordhook. It's optimal for the quote-unquote AD to tank CC so that they can get devoured out, especially when you do get ganked, and you can see Corporal Andrew doing that on that hook just there. Spell Thieves has been upgraded here for Sona,
returning
so
mid.
is now able to farm. Mention it, no flash for the Gragas, but still looking.
Kevy ult, sorry, not Kevy ult. Kevy's not transformed yet. He's looking here though. This is the Kane game where you can be super relevant, where you can carry. Ton of CS, you know, on par with the laners. Has a kill. Kweku's looking for this.
Doesn't want to dash to get the stun. Ubisoft flanking. Redemps has no idea. CC on CC. Cleanup is there, and Kweku just lying in wait like a predator. He is just so many times in the bushes behind the Corki and finds another one.
It's like in like a muddy river when they look like a log.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah, Kweku's just, he's logging hard right now, yeah.
He was logging it. No creative play out of Kweku there. Makes Redemption think that he was gone home. Redemption feels confident, just walking up, shoving the wave in, looking for the recall, but unfortunately, Lizard Wizard lying in wait. Ubisoft also on the way means the flashless Corki
Gets chomped.
Gets sent home. Ooh, Miasma though.
Hooked into melee range. Can he get the Devour? Nord ulti is going to land. 4 versus 2. TP flank. Looks like it's going to be the play. Kweku comes through with it. Corporal and Andrew trying to buy some time. Grey health not poppable. Andrew is still full HP. Heavy. Looking to leave off the back end. And now Kweku in behind. No ulti to be had here. Isles is going to fall. Halo stuck there. Does have a Zhonya's. No, has a heal. Picks it up off the back end. Seaman now rotating over. 3 versus 1. Buys a bit of distance. You can see on the minimap, Ubisoft drops the Herald mid lane, but the dive is still continuing. Wave going to crash in a couple of seconds. Halo going forwards, has no way out. Looking for the outplay. Stun, connects. Cleanup is there. Seaman takes the kill, and Cubs are going to walk away with the absolute lot.
Yeah, I mean, as far as turning dives around, they're really getting as much as they can. Sona Taric, really difficult lane to dive. I mean, Corporal had all his sums up. Sona still has sums as well. Like, you feel like that maybe could have gone even worse. In the end, they I think they traded 4 for 2 or something along those lines. Gragas picks up solo platings as well as the tower mid. Suiman picks up some platings in the bot side. Corporal with the solo.
He's just looking for the flash. Ubisoft, Predator popped down the river. If he makes it, will have the damage, and Corporal just has the CC right now. Maximum CC time, spits him out. Exhaust comes through. Ubisoft into Gragas, 3rd game in a row, picks up another one, and Redemps just gets swallowed.
That is so depressing. Is there anything worse than dying to a calm Kench support, essentially solo?
Yeah.
Oh, look, lands though.
Okay, so you may look for the outplay, but this time the dive is successful. Very nicely played. Hook from Miles gets themselves a return kill.
Trades across the map. Sona is currently just sitting mid with Zoe. Suiman falls, melee under tower. Isles with the hook curve around the minions to find that kill. Very impressive. But yeah, supports. There's nothing more obnoxious than a support who can solo kill you. It's like, you've done nothing to earn that gold.
Excuse you?
You've just got passive gold, and now you're just killing me.
He's farmed
This is
86 whole
ridiculous.
minions. I don't know what you're talking about. He's got more CS than the Sona.
You know what?
He's done
Actually,
everything
that's
in
so
this
true.
game. You just need to shut up. You've got no clue.
Yeah, okay.
This is the thickest Tahm Kench you've ever seen at 14 minutes.
You know what? This is 2 patches ago, and they've since actually nerfed solo lane Tahm Kench.
Yeah.
So,
Well, he's
warranted.
obnoxious.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
Bench
Solo
the
lane
Kench.
Tahm Kench, the worst thing about it is it's like, you just step in melee range, and it's like, if you've already made the mistake, you're dead, and there's
Yeah.
nothing you can do about it, but
Yeah.
you die in 5 seconds.
Yeah, you die so
Like,
yes.
you know what I mean? It's like,
I'd rather
you
get burst.
You get a long, hard 5 seconds to think about your mistake.
Your poor position.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, like, did I screw up? Oh no, oh yes, okay.
God, I wish I
Oh,
didn't go
like
there.
you flash, he still hits you with a Q. Devour spits you back. Udisoft is like, yeah, actually, hold on, I'm coming, I'm on the way. Fix it up.
Is there anything worse than the dread you feel when you're kiting? Oh, sorry, not kiting. When you're juking to try and juke the Q, and he's just not even.
He's just
bothered. He's just
auto-attacking.
He's just licking you. He's
Well, the
just
thing
like,
is,
"Oh,
I.
nom, 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 nom,
No
nom,
more
nom."
sound effects. No more sound effects. I played a lot of Tahm Kench, so
Yeah, you would.
I like that feeling. That's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Halo. It's popped in the
Kevy's on
head
his
by
way.
a Q, and Kevy coming through the wall. Now transformed on the Kane, I believe. So knock up and CC
Ooh,
is there.
flashes
Quaku
over the
looking for the
bubble.
outplay. Doesn't have Shojin just yet, but may have the damage. Renekton gets the flash out as well. Triumph proc. Can he turn this one around? No. Kevy is going to clean up a 1-for-1, but Quaku, very nicely played.
Yeah, huge flash over that bubble there. Massive to turn that around. That does mean that he ticked over to 3-0 kill streak just before Kevy picked up the kill. So a little bit extra gold for Kevy, but you definitely take that outplay. Conqueror means that there is now sustained damage on junglers.
Yeah.
You know, on another patch, or if you were running Electrocute, maybe he wouldn't have had enough steam to break through that Triumph proc, but Kane with a conk does mean that he is able to trade that back. So not as bad as it maybe could have been.
It's one conky boy.
True.
Corky. Was almost stuck between 2 turrets and a couple of enemies, but backed off just in time. Kevy still doing the
Ubisoft has a
classic
flank.
side lane jungler right now, just chewing up waves. But you mentioned it, flash available as well. Ulti is going to land onto the Sivir. Ubisoft cast nothing yet. He flashed forwards. He's going to connect, and Isles looking for the return right now. Kevy never
Ubisoft
left
still
the
has
top
ult.
lane, so looking for the flank. Kane coming flying in from topside. Andrew, incredibly no, dies to the Zoe. Corporal with the grey health, trying to live up the back end and fight on multiple fronts. Stopwatch is going to buy him some time, but Redemptus is going to make quick work of the Gragas. And on the
Fight's
other
still
side
going on
of the
top
map,
side.
you can see Isles. He blows his stopwatch to try and live. Halo has an extra flash. Wish he could give it to his teammate, but he does fall down. Oh, okay. Forwards. Can he land the bubble? We'll be up in a couple of seconds. Corporal still sticking around. Actually lands it to the Renekton. Devour should be available, and Corporal's just going to take him to safety. Mid lane turret now under fire for Dire Cubs, though.
Sona does have the TP available. We'll see how much they're willing to commit to hold this tower.
Nice spell shield.
He's just going to walk as Suleiman is able to clear the wave out. And I called out that Ubisoft still had the ult, but unfortunately he just uses the cast to kill himself by flicking the cane onto his head from very far away. He was like, come here, have some gold. I'd be feeling bad for the 2-0 lead he's established already, but at the end, gold stabilizes a little bit.
Yeah.
Was a nice little play out of Mammoth, and you definitely take a winning skirmish, but not able to break a tower, so no ground gained as
Yeah.
the result.
Gold lead still just in favor of Dire Cubs now. Second dragon, or third, I should say, has spawned. Mammoth have probably had the lion's share of dragons the entire series.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
their dragon control super on point. Kevy
Which
is
is-
very willing to just start up a dragon, like by
Yeah,
himself. He's all
yeah.
about the solo. I'll just take this down. It's fine.
He's very much like a PvE jungler. Well, at least that's how he's been playing today. Very camp focused. 2 games of Kane and a game of Silas. A lot of dragons, even against tempo.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird.
Gold
that they
deficit,
have
we
had
get
dragon
dragon,
every
yeah.
game because their bot lane in the first 2 games spent the whole time getting shoved in, and they were down gold. And yet, you know, they had, I think, like 4 Drakes, triple Infernal in game 2. So obviously high priority on him, for him, in terms of the everything.
Oh, he's
the
actually
acronym PvE.
looking for the solo kill. Level 12 to level 12, jungler versus solo lane. Knockup is going to land. Quaku Pops the ulti early, but so much time wasted during Kanye's ulti. Incredibly low, looking for the cleanup of the back end. Corporal going to try and save the Renekton, but may have just been his own death wish. Fire Taste is going to be there in a couple of seconds. Bubble trying to save it, but that is going to be a dead Tahm Kench, and Kevy, just as we compliment him. Yes, Dragons on the board, but now a 4-1-3 cleaver completed, and on his own volition just picks up a double.
Yeah, he hears PvE and he says, is this part of the E? I swear I had somewhere to go with that budget. No, I mean, that's one of the things that Kane can do. Once he has
Renekton's got 2 E's in his name, dude. That's it.
Yeah, and 2 E's in his kit.
That was smooth. That one was alright. The other one sucked, though.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, Kane, that is the strength of Kane. Once you have that cleaver, your farm is on a similar level to what the laners is.
He's ahead of Renekton.
You have Red Smite as well, which is true damage.
Damage reduction.
And damage reduction. So impactful. And your kit has, especially as like Red Kane, you have so much healing.
Yeah.
W heals, Q heals, E heals, R heals. Like, in an isolated 1v1.
He's obnoxious.
You got the red buff too. There's no, like, it's just, he's built to solo kill. He's built for that side lane bruiser solo kill. So, massive performance there from Kevy.
He spent a lot of time in the side lanes. He farmed like 3 waves, flanked mid, picked up another kill there onto Ubisoft, and now is incredibly scary, looking for the next item. But Baron now on the cards, 3 minutes on the next dragon, a while away. But gold lead exactly even.
For a moment it was.
Yeah, almost close.
It looked nice.
It did. But item spike starting to be hit, right? Sivir 2 items, has the execution as well. Lichbane almost done there for Andrew on the Sona, has TP, so if he farms up the next bit, we'll be able to just secure that one. Seaman now in a 1 versus 2. You kind of mentioned it before, like once you get to this point of the game, with Kane, super mobile, just one hits camps and then can dash through every wall. So even though he shows top, can just get to mid in like 3 seconds, and a fight can still be going in that time. Bubble.
Beach ball. Seagulls.
Optimistic. Ludens hits Corporals. Breaks his
Ping's
metaphorical
going down.
Mobies. This is going to be a
Kevy's
flank.
been spotted.
Hook is going to land onto Ubisoft though. Doesn't have the stopwatch, and can they kill him during the ulti knockup of the back end? Crescendo buys some time. Huge
big
ulti from Siam and huge cast from Ubisoft. And the fight gets almost completely turned around, but he falls down and Mammoth walk away with the 1.
Yeah, Suiman not willing to commit on the back of that ultimate. We saw a lot of those passive marks pop up, but yeah, huge fight out of Mammoth Academy. The hook lands. Ubisoft pays for his positioning with his life, and we're going to see a siege of the mid lane. Zoe, Corki, both extremely obnoxious poke champs, and they're going to have to give this one up.
Yeah, not a lot of wave clear between these 4 champions. Sona is kind of the best you're going to get and doesn't have much to play with. Halo is going to land a very nice bit of damage and the bubble onto the Aurelia. Can they commit for more? So much sustain here from Andrew, and so much speed can be given to the entire team. Diacarbs, this is actually a super smart play, just shepherding them straight down mid lane. If they want the reset, then Baron will be on the cards, so Mammoth certainly under pressure right now. Yes, they have a Corki in the bottom lane, but he doesn't have TP. Diacarb's actually looking to pressure this one.
Yeah, on the one hand, yes, Mammoth does have a ton of poke, but Sona means that really there's no need to reset for Diacarbs unless, that's a big ult. No heal means
he's dead.
Good night, Sivir.
And that's the mind game.
Amazon Island or wherever you're from.
There's so many abilities that Sona can just throw out. Like the passive auto attack counts as a spell shield proc, the power chord, the Q is there, but Andrew just plays the mind game, and Miasma had spell shield, but he just throws Crescendo out of nowhere. CC lands, he dies.
Skill check.
Yeah, goodbye.
How quickly can you press E, bruz?
Not quick enough.
Yeah, so against tempo kill there, that means that Mammoth are going to have to spend 20 seconds sort of clearing their jungle, standing around, waiting for Sivir to come back. Instead, they start at the Baron. A blue trinket means that they will get spotted out, and TP coming through. We'll see whether or not Diacarbs notice, and I think they have as they're moving in this direction.
There was a ward on Ubisoft on the other side of the map, so Mammoth will have the timer on the Gragas.
TP coming through.
Yeah, but TPs, and the contest is going to be here. Crab actually super high priority. Corporal, if the Q landed, would have been able to gobble that one up, but Mammoth secure it. Blue buff gets handed over, and Diacubs successfully dissuade the Baron attempt. On the
Double,
hunt pop though,
water.
Hook goes into Narnia, double knock up from Kane, and a
He's a
huge
back
ulti from the Nautilus. 4-man knock up of the back end of the play. Ubisoft is almost dead. Andrew, the one member left standing. Flash hook onto the wall isn't going to quite close the distance. Kevy wants the kill, but Mammoth just completely destroy Diacubs and pings immediately onto the Baron.
Yeah, Kevy refusing to lose. Diacubs get caught in an awful choke, and Kevy just runs straight in there. Has 2 AoE abilities, ton of healing, doesn't take any damage. 4 for 0, straight onto the Baron. 3k gold leads. This is what they needed. They needed a hero performance from somebody. Kevy says, "I'm that guy. Let's bring it back."
Back-to-back Kane games. Backs against the wall. You can see the scoreboard at the top of your screen. A single loss here means a victory for the OCS for Diacubs, but Mammoth want absolutely nothing to do with that. Kevy is going to start this one off, and yeah, double knock-up just kicks off a massive fight.
Yeah, it's crazy to believe that all this starts off with just a bubble onto the support, but Kevy, with that move speed, lands the W onto Aurelia, and that is just opens the floodgates for the team fight, and they just steamroll over the top.
And when you think about Diacub's optimal team fight, like if you have to kite away, that is disastrous territory. Like Renekton wants to go in and stay in.
Yeah.
Aurelia is exactly the same. Sona is probably the only member that can realistically kite back effectively, and as soon as Diacubs are running away, Sivir is just free auto-attacking. Zoe is just chucking garbage into 5 people, and anything that sticks does so much damage. Now Shu completely on the other foot. 5 members with Baron buff here and looking to pressure.
Such a good team comp for winning.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as they think they're winning, as soon as the tide turns a little bit, you know what I mean? As soon as they get that 51% edge in the team fight, they just roll over you. They have the Sivir ult, they have so much AoE that they can just, especially in a choke point like that, they can just dump it into the choke. You're not even thinking about aiming anymore. You're just hovering your mouse into that choke and just pressing all the abilities you can. And so much damage comes out.
Ubisoft waiting over the wall, potentially looking for an engage. Flash still about 5 seconds off cooldown. Mammoth posturing between 2 lanes, wave crashing at the same time. Middle inhib turret gets to about half HP. Big knock up at the back end, and ulti is going to buy the Kane some time, but taken almost towards the Nexus. The engage is on. 1 member dead. The Renekton is down. A huge knock up at the back end once again from Kevy. Answered with the crescendo, but Mammoth are just demolishing Diacubs inside their base. The inhib turret falls. The inhib to follow, and this is going to be the game.
Kevy looking like the Grim Reaper, just killing the entire enemy team time and time again. And he's got Black Lever, he's got Death's Dance, he's got Warrior Enchant. He is the Odyssey boss out of he's the Odyssey Kane. This is going to be 2-1 for Mammoth. They change it up on the blue side. They completely change up their draft and the way they play, and we've got a series now.
Yeah, absolutely. Going straight to game number 4. That was the win they needed to keep their dreams alive. And off the back of Kevy, first Kane game, wasn't it? Second Kane game absolutely was the answer. And yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, for sure. Monster performance out of Kevy. It was slow to begin with, but that's what you want as Kane. And then, yeah, I mean, it all started with the solo kill onto Renekton, leads into another kill on the Tahm Kench. And then from that point onward, it was just...
and then
it was just Kane time.
As soon as it was like slight bit of advantage, you kind of mentioned it, right? Like on the hunt is just popped and it's a 5-man commit. In that team fight, like as soon as you're chasing them down, like there's so much chase potential. Not
Rockets,
Hook,
Zoe,
Sivir,
Boomerang. You just hit anyone and they will die. The Diacubs team comp is it's all about like it's like that ball. You know what I mean? You just want to stay as that ball, and Sona's just healing your bruises, and you're just burning your cooldowns, tanking damage coming out, kiting within that small space. But if you're behind and in a small space against an AoE comp, you just get washed.
And that's the thing with like sustain, right? Like if you have a sustain advantage, like if you can stay in there for a long time, then that's a real good time. Like sustain works wonders. But if you're just getting one hit by like triple K knock up, Sivir ricochet over everyone, then that is a disaster. But it is going to be Mammoth picking up the victory, throwing us to game number 4, keeping their dreams alive. We'll be back in a couple of minutes after the highlights. Don't go anywhere. It's chopped. Hooked into melee range. Can he get the devour? Not ulti is going to land. 4 versus 2. TP flank. Looks like it's going to be the play. Queku comes through with it. Corporal and Andrew trying to buy some time. Grey health not poppable. Andrew is still full HP. Heavy. Looking to leave off the back end. And now Queku in behind. No ulti. to be had here. Isles is going to fall. Halo stuck there. Does have a Zhonya's. No, has a heal. Picks it up off the back end. Seaman now rotating over. 3 versus 1. Buys a bit of distance. You can see on the minimap. Ubisoft drops the Herald mid lane, but the dive is still continuing. Wave going to crash in a couple of seconds. Halo going forwards. Has no way out. Looking for the outplay. Stun. Connect. Over and Diacub successfully dissuade the Baron attempt. On the hunt pop though, Hook goes into Narnia, double knock up from Kane, and a huge ulti from the Nautilus. 4-man knock up of the back end of the play. Ubisoft is almost dead. Andrew, the one member left standing. Mammoth posturing between 2 lanes, Wave crashing at the same time. Middle inhib turret gets to about half HP. Big knock up of the back end, and ulti is going to buy the Kane some time, but taken almost towards the Nexus. The engage is on. 1 member dead. The Renekton is down. A huge knock-up at the back end once again from Kevy. Answered with the crescendo, but Mammoth are just demolishing Diacubs inside their base. The inhib turret falls. The inhib to follow, and this is going to be the game.